Youssef I've known since he was 5, and he's now 17. Is this you? Mm-hmm. Oh, he's so clever with his IT. Do you want to start? You tell me when I kick in.
Okay. So I'm not going to pretend. I am very nervous right now. Today I've decided to, well, God knows I have a lot to talk about. And so today I've decided to talk about mental health, mental ability, and I don't remember what's the third one.
Can I just explain that Youssef was diagnosed at the age of 5. His family are from Lebanon, and his dad's been in this country for some years, but his mum was recently over, and he's the oldest of 3 sons. The little one is quite small, and he was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor at the age of 5, a glioblastoma.
I was diagnosed with a glioblastoma when I was just becoming 6.
Yeah.
And
you had quite a lot of treatment for that, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I had quite a bit of treatment for that. 18 weeks of chemotherapy and I believe I don't know, an amount of weeks for some radiotherapy, yeah. So after that, they didn't manage to make my tumor disappear. However, it did shrink to a sustainable size, and then it was stable. And I relapsed in 3-4 years ago.
When you were about 13, wasn't it?
Yes.
In secondary school.
And so then I also had a stronger dose of chemotherapy and a second round of radiotherapy.
And what did they tell you when they gave you the radiotherapy? Did they ask you, or did they tell you what the chances were?
Well, with the radiotherapy, it was a tough decision because they did tell us some of the risks, and I was too young at that time to decide for myself, but obviously my parents were reluctant to make any decision before I agreed. And I actually did take a few minutes to ponder the thought, and it was a tough decision because they did say that I was going to struggle a lot in terms of my cognitive functions and just me mentally. But I did like the sound of staying alive, so I took the decision. After that, I did struggle quite a lot. One of the main reasons for me actually speaking here is because I'd like not to see other children who may be more unfortunate than me suffered the same way I suffered, because that is a word that you would use, suffered, that's accurate. And while I do put on a masquerade for a lot of things, because in actuality, if I wasn't constantly trying to maintain me, I wouldn't be this well put together before, today. And so,
And after you had that radiotherapy, Youssef, you were very, very, very tired. And
yes, I got tired a lot.
And you also had a neurological injury that you didn't get rehabilitated.
Well, so the neurological injuries started from the first time, actually.
Yes.
They only got worse after the second relapse.
And it's now 4 years, isn't it?
Well, yes, I think it's going to be 5 years, actually,
Yes.
since
So
my relapse.
He's cured.
And, well, no, I'm not cured. No.
Exactly.
Well, you say cured. You say
Exactly.
cured.
What do you mean? What do you mean
cured.
by it?
But that just means that it's been 5 years. That's what it really means.
The tumour's still there, isn't it?
Yes, the tumour's still there. It's still very debilitating. It's still quite troublesome for me to move on and progress with my life. And
You've been doing your GCSEs.
yes, I did my GCSEs. I didn't pass in a few of my core subjects, actually,
You were too busy doing other things.
No, not only that, but also because of my cognitive disabilities. For example, I didn't want to do English literature, for example, but that's because it was almost quite impossible for me to do, since well, how on earth am I supposed to be expected to memorize 2 entire pieces of literature off by heart? Yes. And my memory, my attention, my processing, it's all been affected quite gravely, and so it's actually not very fair on me to still be expected to do all the things a healthy child would be able to do.
And have you had any specific support? It's quite difficult to get specific support at school, isn't it? Because you're in a mainstream school, you're a bright individual.
Yes, no, in school, something that made it much worse is the fact that I was depressed, and no one really actually paid any attention to that until I went to my doctor and said, I am depressed and I need to have something done about it. Because as some of you may know, depression is a degrading condition, and so obviously it didn't help much with.
But half of the problem, I think, is not being able to think about it or find a psychiatrist. It was difficult for you to get that assessed.
So we didn't actually get that for a while. So even after I did ask them to have me see a psychiatric. It was quite a few. It was a few months until I actually went to Westminster Ghanem and they helped me. But by then I had started a trial round on methylphenidate. And now I know that a lot of parents are eager to have their children take methylphenidate, but I like, from experience, I've been on methylphenidate. It's not something you can rush into. It's something you need to have your psychiatrics slowly take very precise precaution with it, because if the psychiatrics don't give it to the child properly, the child's going to go through quite a lot of stress. And like, for me, I was very irritable. My attention was disappearing every few minutes, and even like cracking my neck, and just so many things I don't even remember, because as I said, my memory is not very good.
It's brilliant when he's less nervous.
Yeah.
And I know Youssef has a lot that he has thought about. You wanted to do graphic design in fashion and art, don't you?
Yes. So actually, when I was younger, I wanted to do all sorts of things, such as one day I would want to perform. One day I would want to be a marine biologist or whatever.
Yes.
But the thing is that from then, when I had gotten all these disabilities that came with the brain tumor, I found myself I couldn't actually pursue a lot of the things that I wanted to do.
And how have you, you're a very active member within our weekly sessions.
Yeah,
And
so,
how has that helped? Because I know it's taken a while, and he's only 17, but he's the first of my patients that said to me, I'm too old for this children's clinic. I want to get to university college. And adult transition is another thing, but he has actually transitioned. And I want to know how he gets on. He's going to come back next year and tell us. But what do you think is nice? You've given a lot to the group too.
yes, I would do a lot of artwork, but I never actually have sort of the courage to admit it. But that's where I resorted
Where you are now.
to the graphic design, as Dr. Spade said. And then now I'm not able to participate a lot of the time, because I'm constantly having to go back to the hospital and see my doctors. But when I can, I do participate, and I want to participate because, as I said at start, that the reason I participate in success is because I don't want to see other children have to suffer the way I did, simply because of some people's negligence, because that is what it is.
So Youssef is going to be at the Young People's Speaker Expert, and has offered to say, come and talk to him for more questions, and come and ask him. He's willing to answer. But I think he's done very well, because he does get very, very fatigued. And I want to thank you very much for coming today and speaking out. Thank you, Youssef.